Joe Biden is going to get absolutely crushed, and everybody knows it. The odds that we're getting in Vegas, the average betting odds, have Trump up 8 points on Joe Biden. And now we're even seeing the MSNBC founder say Biden is not ready for primetime election season, going as so far to say, it really pains me to say, but Joe Biden he doesn't have it. Listen, man, let me tell you something. When MSNBC has no faith Biden has what it takes to actually go up against Trump, who's betting on this guy? Let me show you some, right? Betting markets say the money is on Trump. Why would anyone in their right mind bet on Joe Biden or assume Joe Biden could or would win? That's insane to me. How are the betting odds not 99-1? Arguing Donald Trump's got this. Anyone who bets on Biden is an idiot. When even MSNBC says he doesn't have what it takes, no one is betting on this guy. Are you crazy? I'll tell you what. In 2016, a dollar bet on Donald Trump was a good bet because you felt like Trump was going to win, but everything showed you he wasn't. All the polls, so you were like, I really don't think so. So some people made a lot of money because the odds were like, it was like a 10-1 gain. If you put $1 down, you won $10. I know some people made some money. I don't know if that was the exact number, but a lot of people I knew in 2016 and a lot of what we saw, like I thought Trump was going to win based on what I was hearing and seeing. But the mainstream media and the narrative said Hillary had it in the bag, and that's what I believed. So it was a conflict. It was like, could Trump really lose or really win this? No, the polls are not in his favor. Some people made those bets and they won. I'll tell you right now, I would not put even a single dollar on Joe Biden. I wouldn't do it. I'd rather just buy a candy bar. At least I know I'm getting something for my dollar. In fact, I'd rather put the dollar in a piggy bank. Putting a dollar on Biden to me is just ridiculous and not even worth it because the odds aren't even that good. You might win another dollar, but you're guaranteed to lose the dollar. Trump was a good bet. A lot of people made money on him. The Examiner reports Tom Rogers, the founder of MSNBC and CNBC, said presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden was not ready for a general election clash with Trump. Rogers, who is now an editor-at-large for Newsweek, made the argument about the general election during a Monday appearance on Morning Joe. The interview focused on a column he wrote. Well, Trump has been dominating the media, as we all know, and Biden has not been in the spotlight. But that's going to shift. And when it shifts, Biden needs to perform. The bottom line is the candidate needs to be able to articulate a clear and convincing message, and particularly when it comes to the pandemic. What my piece says is he's not there yet, Rogers continued. And it pains me to say this, it really does. But his performance in being able to come up with a compelling narrative and a passionate storyline that is really ready for primetime election season, when it comes to talking about the legacy of Donald Trump, of mass death and economic collapse, he's just not there yet. Excuse me, sir. Did you say yet? I'm sorry. No, he's not there. He'll never be there. It will never happen because Joe Biden can't talk. The dude's gone. I don't know what you think is going to happen. I can respect you saying he's not there, but adding the yet just makes me question what you're really thinking. You think there's a point at which Joe Biden magically gets his ability to speak back? No, he's old. It's going down. It's not like it's a baby who's learning to talk and you're like, in a few years, they'll be good to go. Now there's someone where it's like, in a few years, they will be gone. He's already just out of it. He went on to call Biden's performance in the primary process so far very unsatisfying and faulted the former vice president for sticking to mostly softball interviews. In his column, Rogers said Trump was dominating the media landscape with frequent press conferences, although he argued that they may actually be helping Biden based on the president's performance. That's not true. Donald Trump's approval rating in the average was going up the more he did these press briefings until the media cut him off. Then he started doing bad. He says, quote, first, Trump has not been able to use the briefings to showcase capable leadership through this health and economic crisis. Instead, the American people have watched him blame governors, criticize the press, and release substantial misinformation. He wrote before noting Biden will need to step up eventually. Letting Trump continue to devalue his own political standing has been beneficial to Biden at a time when Biden's own media performances from home have unfortunately shown a worrisome inability to focus his message and articulate clearly and crisply. As we move toward Election Day, Biden will no longer be able to let Trump do the talking. He will have to come out and present the case against Trump himself, as well as his vision for the future. And that is the time bomb. He's right. Joe Biden can't stay hidden. You can argue that Trump is floundering and making himself look bad, but Biden can't stay hidden. He'll have to come out eventually. And when he does, boy, will he tank in the polls. Because people are going to look at Trump and be like, you know, Trump's mean. He's a nasty guy. He says weird things. He speaks in kind of a weird way. Joe Biden doesn't speak at all. Joe Biden is just word salad. I have no idea what he's proposing. I have no idea why he's running or what he wants to do. I really don't. There's no message. And it's partly because Joe Biden can't deliver it, even if someone wrote him one. Joe Biden could hire the best of the best, and they could craft this beautiful speech, and Biden would not be able to deliver it. What do you think's going to happen when they put this guy in primetime TV? He's going to just, the betting, I'll tell you what right now, man. You know why you don't want to bet on Biden right now or Trump? You don't want to bet on Trump because the odds have Trump in the average at, I believe, like, what is he sitting at? 52% to win. That's it. Wait until they do one debate and then see the odds flip. Then it'll get so bad that the odds are going to actually, no, I'm sorry. You do want to bet on Trump now. That's what I mean to say, because you're looking at like a 2-1 win, right? You put down $10, you might win 20. As soon as they see that first debate between Trump and Biden, Trump in the betting odds is going to go to like 99-1, 99.9. And maybe then a dollar bet on Biden might work. I mean, who knows? They may try to steal or rig the election. I'm not saying that's, what I believe is going to happen. I'm just saying there's a 0.001% chance that maybe there's a grand conspiracy to shut out Trump. Maybe Biden wins. Okay. If the odds are that, heavy, I might put a dollar on Biden. But I got to be honest, man, I still feel like I just lose the dollar. I'd probably be more satisfied just holding on to it. Axios says, even after the White House delayed response to the coronavirus outbreak, unprecedented job losses and a bruising recession, investors and betting markets are still putting their money on President Trump to win re-election. Yeah, because nobody blamed Trump for a virus. He didn't make it. It's not his fault. The big picture. They say, presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden holds a sizable lead in most national and individual swing state polls. But money managers expect Trump to retake the White House in November. In a late April survey of U.S.-based investors with at least $1 million of assets, UBS found that 53% said they planned to vote for Biden, but 52% think Trump will win. The world's most popular betting destinations show Trump as the clear favorite. Here's my favorite part. They're saying straight up the 1% is in the bag for Biden, not Donald Trump. You want to argue that Trump is a billionaire and all these awful things? No, Biden's the one courting the 1%. I think the progressives even know this. It's the DNC that obstructed Bernie Sanders. You can be mad about everything having to do with Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't stop Bernie from winning. In fact, Donald Trump defended Bernie Sanders. The world's most popular betting destinations show Trump as the clear favorite. The Real Clear Politics average of betting websites gives the advantage to Trump with an average spread of 8.2 as of Sunday night. Casino sports books are paying around $83 for winning bets on Trump versus $135 for winning bets on Biden, making Biden the unequivocal underdog Bovada shows. What we're hearing, the expectation for Trump to triumph seems to largely reflect optimism about the economy once various state and local lockdown orders end, economists say. Quote, we can't expect the economy is going to be in very good shape, although the trajectory ought to be pretty positive by November. Steve Skank, is that how you pronounce that? A former Treasury Department and Council on Economic Affairs official in the Carter and Reagan administration tells Axios. As November approaches, it's more than likely we're going to see a positive stock market and there will be positive growth, says Skank. Skanky, maybe? I don't know. Now chief economic advisor at wealth manager Keel Point. The wild card, obviously, is the virus and the potential vaccine, Mark Zandi of Moody's tells Axios. And that's a very significant wild card, both on the downside and the upside for people's perceptions of how the president managed all this and how they're going to vote in November. Yes, but thus far, Trump has not gotten the expected bump that comes from national catastrophes, as Americans typically rally around the flag and the president, says Bernard Baumol, chief economist at the Economic Outlook Group. And honestly, Cuomo has. Andrew Cuomo, his polls are like 80% approval, even though he has completely mismanaged everything. It is not just my opinion that Cuomo's mismanaged everything. They're the hot spot. Things are just worse than ever in New York. Cuomo resisted the shutdown when Bill de Blasio said they wanted to do it. Yet somehow Cuomo's approval rating is through the roof. It's amazing. It really, really is. It goes to show you the power of the media smear machine against Donald Trump. Trump isn't responsible for this. And for the most part, neither is Cuomo. China is. Yet Cuomo is coming out now calling it the European virus. You know what, man? I can't imagine this guy's approval rating being so high. It is, though. It's like, you'd think after all the mess ups, he'd be sitting around 50 some odd percent. I can respect what he's trying to do. But I'll tell you what. Maybe the reality is nobody blames Cuomo for the virus. And he's trying really hard, and they're seeing the effort he's putting in. The same is true for Donald Trump, but Trump still has to contend with the resistance faction of Trump derangement syndrome. There's no Cuomo derangement syndrome. I mean, maybe a little bit. So Trump faces an uphill battle. He's got the press set out against him, and so it's a lot harder for him to win that approval rating. But does it really matter? I honestly don't know, because the betting odds favor Trump. And I often say, to me, I follow the money. You think these Vegas, betting odd agencies want to lose money? They don't. They're in the business of making money, meaning they need to make sure the spread is in their favor, right? When you roll the dice on a craps game, you got a 50. I'm just generalizing, but the house has a 1% advantage, sometimes even less, because the goal is if enough people play, they just slowly win over time, even if you win here or there. When it comes to people betting money, they take these things seriously, and they want to make sure they're doing it right. So if they're saying Donald Trump is the favorite, I lean towards that. But I will remind you, the betting odds, my understanding, didn't favor Donald Trump back in 2016. Everybody got it wrong. Biden might actually win this one because people don't like Trump. I guess we will see. Trump supporters, remember, hubris will be your downfall. I'll leave it there. Stick around. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.